This will be step-by-step instructions on how to change these wood pellet bags into a jump rope. The first thing you have to do is lay the bag out as flat as possible and cut both ends off so that you have a nice flat piece of plastic to work with. Now you have a nice flat piece to work with, and you have to fold it like this. Fold one end up from the bottom until it's about in the middle. Fold the other side down to meet this crease in the middle. Then fold this end up so you have kind of like a hot dog looking roll thing. Then fold it up once more till the ends meet. Try creasing it every time you fold it to make it stay nice and snug and get out all of the air. The next step is cutting strips about 1 inch wide. Hold the bag tight so that it doesn't slip and you get crooked strips. Keep cutting until you've used up the entire strip. You end up with a nice pile of strips. The next step is to open up all of the little round piles that you have and cut one end to make one big long strip. Just like that. When you have a whole pile of them, you're ready to begin braiding them. When I made my original prototype, you might remember that it was a little bit too light. I used packets of 3 or strips of 3. This time I'm going to make it a little bit thicker and put 4 strips together. And you need 3 sets of 4 strips in order to braid. So here's one. Now I have 2 sets of 4 strips. One more set to go. Here we go. 3 sets of 4 strips. So they're nice and thick. I think this is going to work out just fine. Now we have to tie a knot in the top, which is going to be where our braiding will start. Gather all of the strips together at the top, and now I'm just going to tie a knot. I tied a knot about 6 inches, and now I need to pull it tight. And there you go. There's the knot. Now, it's easy when you're braiding. It's easier if you attach it somewhere. I'm going to hang it from a drawer and then close the drawer tight so that I have a little bit of tension on it. Or you could have someone hold the free end. So you can see I've stuck the free end in a drawer and closed the drawer to keep it tight. Now I'm ready to start braiding. Divide your strips into groups of 4 again, and then start braiding. The hard part is keeping the braiding even, but you can see I've divided them into 3 groups of 4 and just start braiding. One over the other, over the other, over the other, until you get almost to the end when you'll attach some more strips. Take your time and make sure that all of the braids are even. I think increasing these to 4 strips in a bunch rather than 3 is making a difference. The rope seems a whole lot thicker, and I think it'll jump better or swing better. And I'm almost to the bottom. As I move along, I can open the drawer and stick these in a little bit further so that you don't have to lean over. Close the drawer again and just keep braiding. It's too bad the bags aren't a little more colorful, because it really looks pretty when you get the green gets braided in. So we're almost to the bottom, and it's time to get the next set that we're going to splice into here. So let's gather 3 more packets of 4 strips each. How I did this, and there might be better ways, maybe you can think up a better way, is I kind of straggle the strips together, and then I put a piece of Scotch tape on them. The Scotch tape gives it a little bit of security so that they don't pull out when you start braiding them together. So do that for your 3 strips. It would be a little easier to see if we had different colors, but you can see how I've straggled them again. Now I'm going to put tape on them just to reinforce them. I have my next set of 4 in 3 strips ready to braid in when I get quite to the bottom. Not quite to the bottom. I'm almost at the bottom, and you can see how I've overlapped my next new strip. And I'll wind that one in for a couple of turns. Then I'll add another one to my next group and another strip to my next group. Attaching the next length, I think, is the hardest part to do. You want to try and weave in the ends so you can't tell where each of the next loop started. So here's our tied end at the beginning, and I've braided and braided and braided, trying very hard to keep all of my braids as even as possible. And you just keep going, keep braiding until you get to the end, and you just keep adding on as many lengths as you want your rope to be. I think I did three lengths for the last prototype, and that was a little bit short for tall people. So we'll have to experiment with that and see how long we want to make them. Come up with a measurement, and then stick with that. Get some yardsticks or measuring tapes and stick with it so that they'll all turn out to be about the same. When the rope reaches your desired length, you just tie another knot at the end of the other end of the rope, leaving some tails right here. I'm not sure what we're going to do with the handle yet. Some people had a couple of suggestions, but we'll leave about 4 to 6 inches on the end so that we have some rope to work with. Okay? And there we go, with a nice knot and a little bit of a handle here to hold on to. We have our nice rope. This took me about a half an hour from cutting the bag to dividing it up into the strip, to opening up the strips, putting the 4 strips together, and then starting to braid. So from the beginning to the end, it took about a half an hour. How could you speed up the process? How do companies speed up the process when they are doing production? Have fun! Here's another idea that you can make using Plarn. This bag my sister-in-law gave me as a gift, and it's made out of plastic bags that you get at Walmart or the grocery store. You can see all the different colors in there, and it's crocheted together. So if anybody knows how to crochet, I do. If anybody else knows how, maybe we could make some of these bags too. They're really strong and much softer than the heavier plastic bags that come from the wood pellets.